What up, my nerds? This is Soulsborne back with a worst to first in the boss listings of The Surge. Now, I do love me some of The Surge, so I got a hankering to play it quite recently, and this is why I'm doing this particular video, because I thought, well, while I'm playing through it, seeing if I can get some more trophies and actually enjoying the game again, I thought, ooh, let's put together this boss list of videos, shall we? And whilst I'm enjoying the opening of the game here where Warren's getting suited up, I'm just going to quickly explain. With some of the boss fights, they were quite lengthy in the sense that it took me a while to get through them, so I've sped their footage up by 2 times just because, you know, I can. And as a cheeky bonus factoid before we move on to the bosses, this was the very first Souls-like game of that kind of genre that I actually finished from start to end. Like, I've never played the original Dark Souls or Demon Souls, because I enjoy the more sci-fi-ness of this game compared to the high fantasy of the others, but that's not to say that I eventually won't get around to them, but I do love The Surge and it holds a very special place in my heart. In last place, at number 7, it's Squad Chief Helvig from the DLC, where it's just really kind of a human enemy. So we've had plenty of human enemies with the pole arms. And this guy, he does seem to have like a bit of an extended or a more aggressive moveset compared to the regular enemies, which is, you know, it's nice to have that difference. But at the end of the day, it kind of really is just a human enemy, so it's nothing too special compared to what we've really been coming across. I think it would have been nice to have had like maybe an amalgamation of the mascots that we've been coming across, but I suppose from the story perspective, coming across Squad Chief Helvig, where we have been at this point, because we're trying to recover the black box from the crashed ship, it makes sense for it to be this guy, and for him to be very specifically pointed out as a not a normal enemy. You know, I mean, we've been coming across like the squad itself on our way here, all variants of like your standard enemies that we've been coming across in the main game itself. But yeah, I mean, and I guess with the environmental hazard of the oil when he throws his flare and it setting us on fire being a really pain in the ass extra thing, you know, it adds a little bit more to the fight. And the arena is just a bit of a, it's a bit of a pain to get around. So it's not the best. I mean, story wise, it's really good, but as a standard fight wise, it's and that's why it's number 7th on the list. It's just, and I do like his design with his little rescue gear that he's got on his back. I assume that pole arm is more to be used for reaching things or propping things up, which is one of the cool things about the designs of a lot of this. Everything, like all the tools and stuff, tend to be like a tool, not a weapon, and that's why I like it. But it's time to move on to the next one. And at number 6, which was actually a toss-up between this and the last boss as to who goes in 7 and 6. But I thought, you know, the Black Cerberus that he is, he gets a little bump up. Not for the really annoying feature that he runs away, heals up while sending a PAX unit out to keep us entertained for a minute or two, like he is right now. But more of the fact that, again, it's another human enemy with a slight varied moveset. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not the slight varied. The only difference between him and the other Cerberus units that we come across is that he has a bit of a shockwave attack in some of his later things. And I'm pretty sure some of the other Cerberus units actually have that as well. So it might feel like a unique human encounter at this point, but it becomes a bit of a tedious repeat after this, which I feel like in these types of games there's always that boss who becomes just a standard unit afterwards, and this is one of those where, you know, he feels a little special when you first come across him, but it's really not all that special. Now, this is one of the trophies that I do still need in the game. I'm going to be doing another live stream of this game where I'm hunting down the trophies, and the trophy is to get the complete set of the Black Cerberus. But as mentioned, there are other Black Cerberuses in the new game pluses, so I've actually only need one piece now at this point, and it's his chest piece. I can't remember if I've got his weapon or not. I very much would like to have it. I'm not very much a heavy weapon user, but it's always nice to have that one option should you want to swap into it, because I feel like I'm only getting 1 or 2 hits in at a time, and it probably would be better if I just slid in with a heavy weapon and dealt more damage per hit, rather than my twin-rigged weapon that I've currently got set up right now. But yeah, like, he does this far too many times. Maybe if he did it twice maximum, you know, healed and then sent out a unit, or even instead of healing, like running off and healing, he could heal in the fight like we do with our stims, and use a drone like we do. Make it more of a mirror match type thing, you know, where it's like, oh, you've got a drone and I've got a drone. Yeah, let's do this fight, shall we? But I suppose, you know, looking back at some of these and the hindsight of correcting some of the fights, really. But yeah, I mean, this was always going to be low down on the list because of the whole swapping in and out phases, which is just annoying as shit, really. It would have been cool, instead of it coming through that door, we've got some PAX units just to the side here. If they'd moved over, and you could be like, oh, cool, I've just killed off an environmental thing, instead of, oh, it's just an infinite supply of PAXs being sent through the door. But yeah. Oh, actually, there's one really annoying thing about this fight. I was primed and ready to take his weapon from this fight, but because of my overzealous use of the drone to keep him away from me, I fucked up. And as you can see here, I lose the ability to pick up the stuff. And coming in at number 5, it's the PAX, or the very first boss of the game, which it's a really nice boss to start the game off with. It's a shame it got abused in that Black Cerberus fight where you had to fight it again and again and again. Now, I don't know if the PAX in the Black Cerberus fight, the previous one, is the same level as it is now, where this just feels more difficult because it's really early on in the game, you haven't leveled up much, your equipment's a bit shit, really, or whether it genuinely is like a scaled down version for the Black Cerberus fight. But in this particular version of the fight, you know, like I said, you're starting fresh. It's quite a cool boss to see as a unique enemy compared to the zombie human-like enemies we've been coming across, and it really made me think, oh, cool, what kind of future designs are we going to get? What other type, like, mech/robot-y enemies are we going to be coming across? And it's a great skill check to say, are you learning the fights? Are you paying attention? Are you doing what you need to be doing? Because it's not straightforward, you know, it's not just hack away at this enemy and hope you deal damage. This one, you have to stagger it effectively to actually start to deal the damage, because right now, as you can see at the top there, the red bar has not gone down because I've not been dealing any damage to the weak point on the body, which is the actual faceplate at the top above its legs. So the purpose of this one is to knock it over and then deal its damage. Now, the easiest way to knock it over is when it's doing its rocket attack, you get underneath it, and then you just go apeshit on its face here. And another, like, quite clever thing with this fight is it's not just the faceplate in general. The faceplate's split into 3 segments, so it stops taking damage if you keep attacking the same bit over and over again, because you've already dealt all the damage that you can to that. So that's why you have to, like, swap sides. So you've got, like, this bit on the left, you got this bit on the right, and then the middle bit with that turbine looking bit there. But you just really get in, get some damage there, and then just get over and take it down. And I gotta admit, as a first boss in the game, really enjoyed it. But it's not as good as some other bosses that are coming up, so we're gonna let this fight play out and we'll move on to the next one, shall we?
Dispensing sentence. Reboot initialized.
Number 4, Big Sister 1/3, or maybe it's 1/3, or I don't know. I mean, it could be a reference to the 3 stages of the fight itself, where in this first stage, you gotta fight its clamps, in the second stage, you gotta fight its laser torch doody-doos. I remember the very first time I played this game, I hated this boss so much. But in this particular playthrough, I got it done first time. I was very surprised, especially when it came to the third phase itself, where we're fighting like a spider-like entity almost, as it were. And I don't know, I kind of zen moded it, really. Just got in, got it done. I knew what I had to do this particular time, because I think that was the problem with the very first time of playing the games. You don't really know how to engage with the bosses. You're like, oh, I need to learn their patterns, I need to learn what their weak spots are, I need to hit them hard. And yeah, I this bit actually is always annoying. No matter how many times I play this game, this phase of the fight is just a piss take. It's like, oh, I got 4 arms and I'm gonna stab you with all of them all at the same time, interrupting your attack patterns, but it's fine. And another thing I didn't realize, it seems the spider bit's coming into play already. I forgot about that. Another thing is, once you've taken the torches off, the floor gets electrified, so you're forced into this half of the final portion of the arena here. Now, I thought I found the cheese spot where you could kind of hide here and just keep attacking, but it turns out that wasn't right. So I had to dodge. I had to learn the timing, try not to get damaged, and it helped that I had the recharge, like the healing that boosted from the energy gained, because you can get quite a few hits in this. You can just kind of abuse its damage windows and just get in and get it done. I'm surprised I didn't die there. I don't know how the hell I held on with whatever tiny splotch of health I had at that point. Go on, yeah, we go. That's it. Get the damage done. Why am I not healing? Oh, that's right, because I don't have enough. That's it, indeed. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I went Zen mode with this one. Just kind of, I was just in it, and I was like, right, dodge this, dodge that, and I admittedly, this would have been 7 on my first playthrough, but I have a greater appreciation for this boss fight. I really do. Not so much enjoy it, but I'm happy to take it on again and again if need be. It's just paying attention and knowing you dodge windows, really. And there it is. It is done. Get out of here, big sister. And at number 3, it's the Rogue Process, the final boss of the main game itself. And this fight is pretty difficult. He hits so fucking hard that unless you're on top of your healing all the time, and you just get accidentally clipped, it can ruin a run so quickly. So at this point, I'm just kind of employing a loadout where I've just got as many of the automatic heal, well, not automatic heals, but the good chunky hits 360 HP in one go rather than a build up, just to stay healthy, because I got clipped so much in this phase of the fight. But I really do like the aspect of the fight. So again, we're looking more at the storyness of the fight. So this overcharge thing was being covered up by the nanomachines that makes this thing. So every time we damaged one of its limbs and changed it from a blue light to like a pinky purple light, it took some of those nanomachines off, and the whole purpose is to damage enough limbs, I think it's all of the limbs, in order to expose that overcharge so that we can then fight this. And I know the game I'm about to reference came out after the Surge, well after the Surge, but this reminds me of the boss fight in Lies of P, with the King Puppet, where you start off with something big, chunk and slow but heavy hitting, to something fast and can really combo the shit out of you if you're not paying attention. But with a little bit of drone abuse, the second phase of the fight was actually not too bad, as long as you kept your distance and you only got in after that and then slice his face off and done. Now moving on to the next one. Spinning in at second place is the LU-74 Firebug. Now, the very first time I played this game, this boss was just an annoying piece of shit. I hated it so much because I wasn't paying attention, I wasn't learning its attacks, and it took me a long time to figure it out and actually get it done. And I think in the end I just had to cheese it by hiding in the corner. I can't remember which corner it is specifically, but there's one where you can hide and most of its attacks can't quite reach you, so then you pop out, get some hits, and then hide back in. But you know, this time around I paid attention. I learned its attack patterns. I still died a ton of times, but still, you know, it's quite a fun little fight with a pseudo phase shift. So it's like you've taken off enough of its limbs now that it starts doing like flying attacks. You know, it's not changed forms or anything. It's got less to it, if anything, because you've been taking its limbs off. But I love this fight. Like, I really do. I really appreciated it this particular run round. The only thing that pissed me off, and it wasn't even the fight's fault, it was the lock-on fault, where I couldn't lock on to that box that I'm currently locked on right now when I needed to. Quite often, if it locked off or something happened, it would change to the limbs, and it was so frustrating because all I wanted to do was target the box, get in, and smash its face in. But, you know, oh, and that step back move, that is annoying as shit. Like, it just did it 3 times in a row there. I'm like, how am I supposed to fucking deal any damage to you if you're going to keep doing that? But still, I love the design of the boss. It just kind of reinforces the whole, these things aren't weapons. They are tools primarily that are being used as weapons. And that's the aesthetic I love about this whole game, is these tools are being used as weapons instead of what they're actually for. I mean, this firebug itself just thinks that we're something to be cleaned up, to be purged from the system because we don't belong here. So it is just doing its job. It's not even like a boss that hates us. It's just doing what it does naturally. But that's enough blathering from me. I love this one. But there is still one more boss that is just at the tip of the top, and that's coming up next. Number 1, straight from the DLC, it's Carbon Cut! And I love this. Like, the very first time I came across this fight, I loved this fight. I think it's just because it's like a stupid mascot that's all beefed up with its nanobites, making it a very vicious and difficult bad guy, if I do say so myself. And again, this one took me numerous attempts on this particular run, because I wasn't paying attention. It's like, right, I need to relearn this fight. I need to take my time. This would have been one of those fights that I would have benefited from having a heavier weapon to do the slide attack to deal more damage per hit, rather than just like this cheeky 1 or 2 with this weapon as and when I can. But I mean, he's got plenty of moves that you can punish after he's done them. You just got to be wary of them, because some of them hit so fucking hard. And when he does that drag thing where he drags the stuff to where you are, if you don't move, you will be hit by every single one of those fucking items and you will die. It's just a little frustrating, but you know, that's what it is. Every boss has got to have that one move that just kind of pisses you right off. There we go. Look at how much damage I took there. I had to panic heal so badly there. But this is one of the few multi-phase fights where I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And it's actually a bit of a contrast to the last boss of the game. So this one starts small, then gets big, whereas the main boss of the game starts big and then gets small, which is quite interesting indeed. You know, to have that kind of change up rather than it being, you know, the same fight over and over again. And this one, I don't know, it telegraphs really well. It's such a cool concept of this evil mascot that has now become some kind of behemoth. And this phase, oh my god, this phase is so annoying, because that fucking really long arm attack, and this, I kept getting caught in that. I think I had to do this phase like 5 times, just because I kept falling for the wrong bloody bits and bobs. But then I remembered I have a drone that I can be targeting certain body parts with, dealing that damage at range, which is something I really appreciated in this particular playthrough, is using my drone more. I very rarely used it in the thing, because I kept using the energy to heal with. But, you know, if you can use a drone to knock someone over or deal that little extra damage, then you can get in and deal some more damage yourself. But we're distracting from the boss here. I love the kind of lore behind this, where it's an in-game villain to the in-game hero that we're dressed as, the Iron Mouse, which I didn't even think about until just now, that, oh yeah, we're doing the mouse versus cat thing here. And yeah, it's such a fun little fight with just a cool design about it. Like, I love the original thing, and the fact that when it's nanoed up, it still keeps its face. It doesn't create itself a new persona. It is still Carbon Cat, just fucking beefed up with nanobytes. Not nanobytes, nanobots. And it's oh man, I just can't express how much I love this fight so much, just because of everything about it, with the combat and the story behind it. And that was my ranking of worst to first in the first game of the Surge. I will be looking to doing a second game at some point, and I appreciate that I did end up just kind of waffling on to fill in some of the time there, but, you know, that's kind of just how it worked out. But that's going to be it for this particular one. So thank you very much for watching this one. I really appreciate it. Whatever it is that you're doing and wherever it is that you are, I hope that you have a great time, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye!